We're going to start a new phrase in 2021, and I want you to follow me along. And it's simple. Okay. That's all we're doing. Okay. Hey, Taylor, I hate the way you dress. Your tattoos are stupid. Kids are ugly. Okay. Will goes viral again. He does it again. What's the next big thing that Will's going to do? Will calls me the day before. Right, that's me coming into the thing. He looks at me like, so?
Hey guys, just wanted to let you know, me and the boys have a drinking game where we take a shot every time Taylor says, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what. The lovely song Dick Down in Dallas. It's for children of all ages. Trey Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause.
I started drinking and using drugs at a very young age. 19, I decided to go get some help, and I went to treatment. As part of my sobriety, I was like, I need something to do to keep my idle hands busy. And I decided that buying a guitar was a good thing to do. Songs brought a lot of joy to people. So like, I'm asking that she comes back and gives me that sweet ass.
Welcome to Bussin with the Boys. The Boys, as Wills likes to say, as we all like to say, episode 80. We almost just dropped an F-bomb right after I just said I don't want to drop any more F-bombs. Did you see that? I said, but I don't want to say it. You know what I'm saying? I asked for a black coffee. I really wanted an ice because I don't know what it is about my sensories. They don't do well with heat. Sometimes I just go into food when it's just super hot and I'll burn my roof of my mouth. I'll be in a meeting with the suits and they'll be like telling me about, this, that, and the other. Well, your future's looking pretty bright if you just keep doing X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like eating some pad thai and I'll burn almost said the S word. I'll burn the top of my mouth through that. So thank you for the black coffee, boys. I'm learning though. I'm 29, turning 30 in 2021, and it's going to be special. Bussin with the Boys, you guys, honestly, every single week I just get so excited. Monday comes out and you see the chatter on the Bussin accounts. Alex does a great job of doing that, getting everybody hyped up for everything. And it's crazy how much the ebbs and flows go of when we win and when we lose. Because when we win, it's hype train city, right?
Yep.
Tennessee Titans 2020, 2021 Super Bowl champs. That's a bit of a mouthful. So she said 2021, 2020, 2020 Super Bowl champs. And then you go and you play a game like the Green Bay Packers game. And it's like, we're the worst team that's ever lived in the history of living of teams. People that have pulses, they now no longer have pulses, which means they're dead, and the Titans should kill themselves. That's the kind of fluctuation that we kind of deal with on a week-to-week basis here on Bussin with the Boys. And it kind of goes with the podcast, right? But Bussin with the Boys is a separate entity from the Tennessee Titans. We're not worth, $700 million yet, but we're on our way. We'll start in the low thousands for now, but we're on our way for sure. And I think you guys think that, we're just not going to do podcasts when we lose. But guess what? It's Monday. Wait, it's Tuesday at 3, 2 days after we got absolutely donkeyed by Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And it happens. It's part of sports. And you guys can live and die on your swords of lies of you got your Tennessee Titans fathead. Remember Javon Curse. Remember McNair. Oh, Eddie George would have never been held for 10 rushes for 98 yards. Just let's just bag it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start a new phrase in 2021. And I want you to follow me along because it's going to be very vital for every single one of you out there. And it's simple. Okay. That's all we're doing, right? And you might, what do you say? What do you say there? Okay. That's what I'm saying. Now I'm going to slow it down. Okay. That's all we're going to say. Right now we're going to do role playing. Let's see. Alex, just say, hey, the Tennessee Titans suck. You guys are never going to be worth anything.
Hey, the Tennessee Titans suck. You guys are never going to be worth anything.
Okay. See? And now I don't have to argue with Alex because it doesn't matter. And I think we've learned in 2020 that we just kind of give too many opinions, right? We fucking, oh no! I did it. I said an F word. How far am I into this podcast?
Not.
Oh, 417, dude. And I made an F-bomb. Alex told me I suck. I could tell him why I don't suck, but Alex doesn't care about my opinion. He only cares about his opinion. So guess what? Okay. Now, okay. Hey, Taylor. I hate the way you dress. Your tattoos are stupid. Your kids are ugly. Okay. Like it works on every single face. Hey, did you know that Joe Biden it helps China and he gives information to China and he's an informant. Okay. Right? Hey, I actually don't believe in just male and female. I want to be a unicorn. Okay. Like, we can do for anything. It doesn't matter what side you believe in or what the Titans suck. Guess what? Next week, Aaron Rodgers is going to suck because he's just not as good as Tom Brady or whatever. And that's what we just got to deal with, dude. We got to figure out the HaKays of life, right? Okay. That's what we're going to do from now on. We're going to deal with HaKay. We're going to, maybe in 2021, we're going to take a nice little step back. We're going to sit down and we're going to sit in front of our keyboard. And I hope Garrett learns this lesson. We're going to sit in front of our keyboard and we're going to think, well, maybe I shouldn't tweet that because maybe my opinion really doesn't matter as much as I think it does. But Adoree Jackson, well, maybe I'm not going to tweet that out because I've never played corner before, right? Maybe I should tell this USC cornerback that was drafted 18th overall, he's trash. But I've never played corner at USC. So maybe I shouldn't say anything at this moment. Now, this is my podcast, and people are only allowed to talk when I ask them to. So if someone's grabbing their mic right now in front of me, they need to. Adoree is, well, I probably shouldn't say that. And what do we have to say about that, Garrett?
Okay.
Yep. See, boom. Yes. We're learning. I'm Bussin with the boys. Dude, it's such a simple reference. And I think social media is so beautiful, right? Like literally everyone here and behind the cameras and sitting in the chair. We all have jobs because we get to expose our stupid opinions and what we want you to go into your cerebellum, right? Get in there, dude. Almost did it again. Messed around in your cerebellum, your brain, your emotion category, and tell you X, Y, and Z. We can do that. Why? Because I have a blue check. I can do whatever I want, right? Once you get the blue check, that a robot has told me I'm worth it, and that is okay for me to do. But if you got, let's say you got 13 followers. If you're following 6,000 and you have 13 followers, writings in the wall, right? That should probably be most of your tweets. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's just spend a whole, damn it. I did it. Oh, there was another one. Spend your day, dude. Spend your day. I want you guys to tag me. All right. It's okay. Just if there's something ridiculous, even if it's not ridiculous, sky's blue. Okay. Like, doesn't matter, right? You can go anyway. Your dog's ugly, right? Fact. Okay. That's fine. That's what Will should have said to the whole thing. And then the whole thing was over. The beautiful personality, right? Ain't nobody painted personalities before, if you know what I'm saying, though.
We can't bring that back up again. We can't do
You're
it again.
right, dude. You're so right. Let's see. But I'm glad I got that off my chest a little bit, dude. It was needed. And there's so many beautiful things about social media because you can do and say, like when I was 10, there wasn't social media. And now now I do so much social media. And it's like when I first got in the NFL, you would get almost laughed at for doing media. Like you get in trouble. You get fined as an offensive lineman to go do media. I love doing media. And I still tell the boys, I hate doing media. I love doing media. I love talking to people. I love having my personality out there. I love doing those things. And you should too. And that's beautiful. And that's all right. And eventually, like my opinion, right? You're listening to mine and you think, well, that's stupid. Like everything you're saying, Taylor. And now all I have to say to that is, okay, right? Because my shit doesn't matter either. It doesn't. But social media is beautiful because was it last week or the week before? Will Compton goes viral, right? Trending on Twitter. This is because of you guys. This is because of the Bussin with the Boys faithful, and Tennessee's definitely stolen our identity on their social media platforms. So also the Tennessee Titans faithful, which is kind of one and the same, but still two different entities, right? See how we went back to that? 1-2, 1-2, and then 2-2, 1-1. And the United States was trending. I think it was like, what was it? 152,000 tweets. Now, not all of them were about Will Compton and his dope A play on the goal line against the Detroit Lions. But is it a coincidence that it happened right after that? No, I don't think so. I don't think it is at all. The boy was trending. He's not trending anymore. Hits the ball. Now, Daquan Jones is going to say that he knocked the ball at first because it's my platform and I can say whatever I want. You didn't, Daquan, right? Now Will did. And now you can just say, okay, and we can move on, right? That's the name of this episode now. It's now, okay. That's what it's going to be. Figure out, Josh, your goal this entire week is to figure out how to spell, okay. Because it's not O and K, right? It's like a, okay, Anyway, Will did amazing. He came in on goal line. Guy gets 3 snaps a game, comes in and does something beautiful like that. I love it, dude. The boy, Will Compton deserves more success than all of you, except for me. That's all I'm going to say, right? And you guys can put that into your cerebellums once again about the brain and how that whole thing works. But he trended nationwide, dude. And, but the boy wasn't done after that, right? Like he sits there, he trends for doing something hype. He trends for doing something amazing. And then what happens? Will, because he's so original, and let me just say, because I did listen to Will's solo pod by himself, which really wasn't a solo pod because it was like 3 minutes of him doing a solo pod, and then Corey came on, and then he was talking to, and then they finished. If you don't know what I'm talking about, episode 79, Will Compton did a phenomenal job, but he didn't do a solo pod. 70, was it 78?
78.
Excuse me, 78. Oh, that's right, because our best of was 79, which is also an incredible pod. I listened to that. Those 2 pods are probably the most I've listened to our pods because I spend all day, every day with myself. I don't need to hear myself ramble on more than I already do. But Will goes viral again, right? He does it again. And you think, he made a great play. What's he got next? What's the next big thing that Will's going to do, right? Well, he did it. He did an amazing job. He went to the barber shop and said, have you seen Tropic Thunder? And the guy goes, well, I think I have before. He goes, well, there's a side plot in the movie Tropic Thunder where Ben Stiller's character plays a fully disabled individual and decides to go, it's because the movie's called Simple Jack. Can you Google that for me, sir? And the guy looks at him and goes, are you sure you want this? And Will looks this man dead in the eyes. I'm assuming this is how it went. I wasn't there for the conversation. I'm assuming he just looked at him and go, absolutely, that's what I want. And the guy, he went, okay. And then it just went and they did the barbershop, dude. They did whatever that was at the barbershop. Will comes in. Will calls me the day before it becomes a viral sensation on every single sports platform. He calls me, and I wish, if you're listening to the audio, you gotta wait for the YouTube because I'm gonna show you the face he gave me right now. So it's like boop, 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 right? That's me coming into the thing. And I'm like, hey, dude. And I go, oh, what the fuck? What happened? Like this is my head, right? In my mind, you're like the commercial with the it's like the guys training the parents not to say blue hair or whatever. You've seen that commercial?
We all see it.
That was me. Yeah, we all see it. We all see it. And in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe he's in the middle of the haircut, right? Like I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he's not fully done yet. He's barber need to take a break. And he just looks at me like this. Oh, dude. He looks at me like, so? He goes, so what do you think? And I go, about what? Like, what do we, like, you took a break to call me? You took a break in the middle of your haircut to call me, dude? And I didn't have the heart, dude. I didn't have the heart to say anything. I'm like, dude, hell yeah, bro. It looks amazing. You look so good. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's killer. He goes, Peaky Blinders, right? I'm a Carol Shelby. He like, he's explaining it to me now. He told me to watch the show. He's obsessed with the show, Peaky Blinders, and he calls me. And it's like, if you have an idea for something, for anybody who decides to do a haircut like this again, if you have an idea, like, that's okay to take the idea and make it your own. And the man got the exact haircut and then got the suit and changed his last name. So he's the bitch. Like, changed his name to William Shelby in the jacket. And so he's a fictional character's brother. And I didn't think anything would happen of it, dude. I did not think anything would happen. Oh, I'm actually crying. And the cigarette's not even lit in the picture, dude. Oh, we're all learning lessons. That's the thing, dude. That's the best thing about this podcast is we're not just having a great time. We're not just doing it up and having our smiles happen, right? If it's Monday and you're frown, well, we're turning it upside down, as the old expression goes. We're smiling and we're learning from people's situations. We're not gonna call it a mistake because I think the entire look put together with the hat on was just don't get the haircut, right? Just put the hat on, like you can't even see it. Looks great. I think you should have lit the cigarette, took a couple puffs. Then there better not be a filter in that cigarette either, because you know they didn't have it back then. But I'll tell you what, dude. So I get off the phone with it and I'm like, hey man, it looks great. You look phenomenal. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the boys think. Did not think anything of it, dude. And then I woke up in the morning to a tweet with Will, and it said, when you're getting roasted by the boys in the locker room for your haircut, and it showed like a a monkey. I'm not gonna say what kind because I don't know, right? I don't know monkeys, but it was a certain kind of monkey. It had the oxygen tank, and he looked like he was on like an IV drip because he was dying. Absolutely hilarious, dude. And then the Tennessee Titans came out. Yeah, what is that? A chimpanzee? What is that guy? What's orangutan?
Yeah.
An orangutan?
Orangutan.
That's an orangutan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see, he comes out. Oh, the Tennessee Titans who are just like, they don't always try to be funny, but they literally put out an injury report for Will saying that he was doubtful for the game because of a haircut, because his injury was a haircut, dude. And then it was on Yahoo Sports, it was on ESPN, it was on damn near everything, dude. It was on Sports Illustrated, it was Bleacher Report, it was everywhere. It was absolutely everywhere. And I couldn't believe it. So I think this is, I was nice to Will on the phone, just the two of us. So I decided to make a story for myself, just agreeing with everybody because I had to make it worse for whatever reason, dude. That's so funny. First sip for those of you who have been joining us on the podcast. I don't do well with hot things. Hold on. It's the perfect temperature. Warm enough to make your belly feel nice. But I'm actually just terrified of the coffee now. Dude, so Will's had a busy 14 days. I wouldn't even 14. I would say it's around like 6 days, right? Strip fumble on the goal line against the Detroit Lions. I don't think it mattered. Right? We won that game big time, right? We did really well. We did well in that. And then Will's had a full week. He's probably exhausted. He's probably just exhausted. And the thing is like the suit looked great. The fake gold pocket watch thing looked phenomenal. But should have lit the cigarette. I 4.5, right? It's overall 4.5. But I think he could have done. I was wondering what he thought when he got home late Sunday night, early Monday morning, and decided like he lays down in bed and he thinks to himself, well, the game didn't go well, but the suit and thing didn't. And then something creeps into his mind, probably like, well, now what do I do with this haircut? Like, what happens now? I don't know if he's gonna shave it or what he's gonna do. But dude, there's a lot of things that happen this game, man. There's this. Well, before we go any farther, we should probably take a break for cha-ching, 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 ads.
The boys, what's up, champs? The champs out there, if you're rooting for the boys, you're for the Titans, any of it, dude, you're a champ today. And shout out the boys of the South for taking the division last night. Who is our advertiser? Trifecta. Shout out Trifecta Nutrition. No free shout outs. A meal food delivery program, and it is unbelievable. Trifecta is the best meal prep on earth. All meal plans are created by chefs and nutritionists to help people get into the best shape of their lives. Trifecta makes eating healthy not suck. You don't have to suffer to eat healthy. Trifecta is convenient, so you can save time rather than having to spend hours meal prepping every week. You're able to stick to your nutritional goals. All meals have precise macros people need to gain or lose weight and meet your physical goals. And it's also science-backed nutrition. All of Trifecta's meals follow scientific nutritional principles. The best part, food quality is their number one priority. Fresh food, farm to fork supply chain. It is never frozen, which is big time. Organic produce, gluten-free, meat that is animal welfare level 5. Hang on, let me say it again. Meat that is animal welfare level 5. That is the highest possible level for meat. It's fully cooked food, so no waste of time cooking or cleaning. Just heat and get healthy. Meal prep that the boys use, that elite athletes use. Meal plans that fit people's lifestyle. So whether you're vegan, paleo, keto, whatever it is, Trifecta Nutrition has a plan for you. Shop meal plans and get 40% off meal prep with code BUSSIN. That's BUSSIN. Go to trifectanutrition.com/bussin for this exclusive offer for you boys and girls. That is TRIFECTA nutrition.com/bussin to get 40% off your meal prep today.
That was a great ad, by the way, Will, because Will does the ad reads, right? He sits in a closet in his room and holds up a microphone to his mouth and does Manscaped. For those of you who don't Manscaped, whatever the thing is, but the thought of Will in his dumbass haircut in a closet, dude, sitting there, probably wearing the William Shelby suit. That's the same thing as wearing a jersey, right? Like, I think
it's your rule. I mean,
if you're wearing a suit and you open it up and it's another man's last name,
Is that better or worse than a jersey?
that might be worse. That might actually be worse. Does anybody think it's better than a jersey?
It's hidden. The name's hidden.
But it makes it
But
even
you're
more
also
suspect.
fully in character.
Fully in character. That,
And does it being hidden make it more suspect, like you're saying?
do you know when you're like, I don't know if anybody's ever gone down this, but if you go and look at like parody porn, like it's Scooby-Doo, but they're all humans. And ruh-roh, and he pulls it out, right? That would be a Peaky Blinder. Like Will would be the star in a Peaky Blinders parody porn, right? What are you gonna do about this, yeah? Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my brother Will in here. What he's gonna do then? And then Will walks in. What you think about this? And he pulls out his penis, and that's when they have sex, and that's when all the acting goes out the window, and they no longer have English accents. It's like, oh fuck yeah, you like that? And it's like, oh dude, this guy was from Camden Town 10 minutes ago. What happened? So anyway, the boy was weird before he got married. Had some weird search histories, dude. The loss of the Green Bay game. It's like here's the deal, and I jokingly I sent Garrett one of our interns. I don't even know if he's an intern anymore. He gets paid now, so whatever. Garrett had a tweet about Dory Jackson being trashed. It's like, we've all had bad games. Dory Jackson got his 5th year picked up for a reason because he's played well in the past. And we jokingly, he's like, it's a fan's opinion. It's a fan's opinion. And I should have just said, okay, and moved on, but I didn't, dude. I didn't follow my one rule, but it's not 2021 yet, so we don't have to follow it yet. But he did we just got into it for a little bit, and it was funny because if you have an opinion about a player, right? Like I've had a lot of people tweet at me and tell me I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I've also had probably 3 times as many tweets at me saying I'm the worst thing since sliced bread. So it's like, okay, and it is what it is, because ebbs and flows of the year for me, and I can only speak for me, is at the end of the season, oh my God, Taylor's so great, he's this, that, and the other, and then I'm so great in the beginning of the season, then somewhere in the middle of the season, everyone hates my guts. I'm getting too many penalties. I suck. I don't care anymore. And then at the end of the season, what happens? You guys all love me again. So if we could just cut out the middle part, that'd probably be the most happy thing for me and for the rest of my teammates, is maybe just, support the boys constantly. And and everyone's entitled to their opinion. I totally just went back on what I said, but at the same time, like, okay, and that's it. So the Green Bay game, it didn't go well. It reminded me a lot of the Cleveland game, how they go down, they score, we get stopped around the 32. We don't kick the field goal. I don't understand what was going on with Kostowski. I don't, what I'm saying? I don't know the answers to those questions, so I'm not going to even talk about them not kicking the field goal or punting or not punting. And then Aaron Rodgers put another 14 on. It's a bummer. And people are like, well, should you even defer? Should you even defer in the beginning of the game? Because that's stupid. It's like, what they did to get their 14 points is what you want to do as a team, right? You get the ball at the end of the half. You put points on the board, whether it's 3 or 7, always prefer 7, but you get 3, whatever. In this situation, they got 7. Then you go into half and it's like, you come right back out, march down the field, right? Like that's a 2-possession swing. That's what you want. And so yeah, you want the defense to play better. Listen, put me in defense, dude. You know what's going to happen? 40 more points. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like Taylor, you go cover Devontae Adams. Well, you want 40 more points? That's what I would say. For us, nope. For them, because unless Aaron Rodgers has a damn aneurysm, I ain't stopping nobody, dude. I'm a good left tackle, and that's literally, I can't even play left guard. I can't play center. I can't play right guard. I can't play right tackle. I'm a one-trick pony. And they say in the NFL, the more you can do, here's the end of that phrase, the more you can do, the less you get paid. Be good at one thing, kids. All right? Don't try to be a jack of all trades. Find your niche or niche, depending on where you're from, and just be great at that, right? You can have several irons in the fire, but have that plan A, dude. Have that plan A always. And so that's what I did with the left tackle thing. As far as our defense not playing well, dude, like I said, I don't play defense, so I can't even comment on it. I played defense for 3 years. I was horrible. But there was a level of jealousy that game, it being snowy out. Like playing at the University of Michigan, you think, oh, I'm going to play in a snow game someday. And I never did. It was never snowing outside. There was times where I played at Iowa and there was snow on the sides, but the grass was totally fine. And then there was, there was calling for snow and it never happened. So, I mean, that would have been a really cool game to play. And you sit there as a fan and go, oh, Derek's going to go off this game. But like you saw from the beginning, they put 8 guys in the box, man. Like you can't block them all. And Derek did a really good job. I think, there's a couple hiccups in there, but that's the thing about football is like, we can go and coach on Monday, right? I can go, it's Tuesday here, but the day after the game, I can go and say, well, we could have done this. We should have done that. We should have done. It's 11 guys on the field at one time, right? Like, Tannehill's interception could have been, maybe he had a guy in his face. It could have been so many things. And so it's like not even worth really talking about in this pod because it just, we don't know. Like I can only play left tackle. Rabel can only, I guess he could play too, but he can coach. Ryan can only throw the, it's just so many things. So it's like, let's put down our torches and picks and everything. Let's just relax. Because the only thing that matters is this week. You win this week. And for the first time since, you guys would know better than me. When's the last time we won the AFC South? 2008? 2008 was the last time. So it's like you lose the game 40-14 and then you go, okay. And then it's done, right? Like the game's over. You shrug it off and go, who cares, right? You Lambeau Fields, week 16. It is what it is. Game, set, match. And now you go into Houston with a team that, is 4 and whatever. They've had a trash year, right? But they have so much talent. And you worry because Deshaun's had the best year he's ever had. Statistically. And JJ, I saw that damn press conference with JJ and I'm like,
we're professional athletes getting paid a whole lot of money. If you can't come in and put work in the building, go out to the practice field and work hard, do your lifts and do what you're supposed to do, you should not be here.
People are like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just words. How many guys actually care? It does worry me a little bit, dude. It does kind of tickle me in the wrong places because, JJ, he's a great, say what we've said about him in the past. He's a great football player. So he commands respect that way. He's a good leader from what I've heard. He commands respect that way. And then for him to go on a rant for 2.5, 3 minutes, the way he did, talking about having pride, like, it says a lot about him and the way he structured his life. And I'm really happy for him. And I think this is his last year in his contract. Like everyone's saying he's going to go to Pittsburgh next year, be the Watt trio. It's going to be a stipulation that Derek can't get cut apparently. But and the last thing I'll say about the Green Bay game before we go into like the week 17, which doesn't matter because by the time this airs, right, we already know. Right. So I'm going to say we win the AFC South. And now this will age either great or this will not age very great. And we'll move on after. The refs did not change the outcome of that game against the Green Bay Packers, but holy shit, were they terrible. Like the neutral zone on Kalu, the guy was the last person to move on the kick. And then their Aaron Jones stepping out of bounds. It's completely obvious. And it's like, even New York should have caught that, right? New York should have called them, like, you need to review that. That needs to be taken a look at. Like, that needs to happen. Like, even if people are like, Vrabel should have, wow, what a dumbass Vrabel. I love saying that because I can't get in trouble because I'm somebody else right now. What a dumbass Vrabel. Should have thrown the red flag. Dude, they should have just called down and been like, hey, we should probably take a look at that. And then it would have been like 10 seconds and then it would have been like, okay, go back. Does that change the game? I don't know what the score is at that time, but probably not. I don't know. Like the boys didn't play well. Like that just is what it is, right? Now we can all just move on. And we go to week 16 against the Houston Texans, our big rival, right? We left Houston back in 98, or when did we leave 98? And then we played in Memphis 99 and 2000. I'm such a genius. And they and they hate us and we hate them and Houston people are still pissed. And who has the right to wear the throwback Oilers jerseys? We do. But like people get mad about that stuff, and it's like, it's a big week. It's a huge week and it's going to be good football on Sunday. It's exciting because Miami, if they win, if Baltimore wins and one other team, Colts win, we don't, and we lose, we're out of the playoffs. 10-6. Best record we've had in 5 years out of the playoffs. How crazy is that? Now, situationally, if that happening, I mean, I'm sure all those teams will probably win their games. The Bills are sitting there, guys. Colts are playing the Jags, and they've seemed like they've cashed it in a little bit. I don't know if you ever cash it in, but it seems like they've cashed it in a little bit. And so it's like, it's an interesting little deal. It's an interesting deal to see what's going to happen. My thought is every time Derek's held under 100 yards, every time the team gets donkeyed, like they did against Cleveland, like they did it then, like we did in the past, they always come out with fire, dude. And it's playoff time. This team did it. And I heard somebody on the radio say last year was a fluke, and that's just what it is. It's a fluke now. even if we don't make the playoffs, it's not a fluke because we have the coaches, we have the players. You fix a couple of things. Now I'm not the person to answer those questions. You fix a couple of those things, right? We make that kick against the Steelers in week 7. Like we're sitting everybody. It's little things, and that's the beautiful thing about football is it's not an individual game. It's really cool that we all have to rely on each other to accomplish something. So that's why people love watching this. Love the camaraderie. This is going to be interesting. I'm excited. So Titans are going to win the AFC South. They're going to host their first playoff game since 2008, correct? 2011. Did they host one in 2011? Who cares? Who cares? It's not even worth going into. All I know is that they are doing it, man. They're going to do it. It's going to happen. And we're going to run or we don't. But those guys have their hearts set on a trophy this year. I believe in them. You should too. And I think we're watching this right now going, Taylor, why are you still talking about this like it's already passed? So we're going to move on and we're going to listen to another ad.
It's time to shout out the world's most comfortable boot, Georgia Boot. Shout out to you guys. No free shout outs. America's hardest working boot. For 80 years, Georgia has been making boots that work as hard as you do. Tough enough for your job, cool enough for everything else. Georgia Boot makes super good looking and super comfortable boots. So comfortable that you never want to take them off. These boots will hold up in any condition without sacrificing any comfort. They're great looking boots that are wildly comfortable at a price you can afford. It has comfort technology of an athletic shoe packed into a phenomenal looking boot. Every time I'm wearing these boots, the boys are wondering where we get them. So whether you're working on your feet all day, working around the house, playing football, grilling out with your friends, these boots don't sacrifice comfort or style. Georgia Boot offers the best work boots, wedges, and loggers around. So whether you're a good old boy and you need a waterproof, or a good old girl, and you need a waterproof boot, a soft toe, steel toe, square toe, Met Guard, non-puncture shake, non-slip sole, they've got it all. Head over to georgiaboot.com. Use code BUSSIN for 20% off. That's BUSSIN for 20% off.
Who's Parker Nordstrom?
Parker Nordstrom is the tier 1 who found the bus and dropped off all those gifts last week.
Oh, this is the guy.
Yeah.
1,000 followers, 10 posts. All right. This kid, little B&E, right? It really wasn't because it was outside of where the bus is. The guy gave us 12 Days of Christmas, Parker Nordstrom. I hope he's related. If he is related to the Nordstroms who started Nordstrom, he should have gave us a lot better gifts.
For sure.
But that Tannehill sign was wicked awesome, dude.
Right behind you.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. An elite quarterback. Let's go top 5. Let's go top 5 quarterback. Yeah. I love that, Parker Nordstrom. Did he act alone?
Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah.
That's him banging on our bus someday, dude. That's so sick. Good for you, Parker Nordstrom. I'm so stoked. Tier 1 cat. Oh, saw Dad's Tats in the Pat show and had to copy them because they're effing awesome. I'm doing a new thing where I don't curse for my kids. He actually, is that a real tattoo?
Yeah, so you went on the McAfee show a while ago.
Yeah, my right hand man.
He's got the mustache too.
And the mustache. My brother-in-law, Parker, this is Nathan now.
Yep.
Nathan Fournier.
Sure.
I made out with a girl named Taylor Fournier one time. I wonder if they're related. Nathan, are you related to, her name's Taylor, actually. It was a freshman year at a frat. We made out, and then we went back to her place, and she said she was tired, and then a hockey player came over after, called her out a couple weeks later. We were actually friends, though. But anyway, so if that's your sister, Nathan, nothing worked out for me. This kid gets a tattoo, stole my, that might be worse than getting a suit. I get to bang this kid, right?
He's not alone.
He isn't?
There's another one.
No way.
Somebody named Fitch.
Never made out with a person named Fitch. Keep going.
And then this kid.
No way. People are getting this tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a selfie, so it's backwards.
No, dude, that's his left hand.
Oh, that is? No, because it's a selfie, so it's backwards. Selfie camera flips it.
It makes you all left-handed?
Mm-hmm.
A selfie camera makes you all left-handed.
Well, no, it just flips whatever. It's a mirror, so it flips whatever hand it is. So if you show your left hand, it looks like your right hand in the photo.
Yeah, but if I took my right hand, and then I flipped it. This is this dude's left hand. His thumb.
Was on the left. Which goes with what I'm saying. It flips the camera.
Dude, these are not left-handed. These are not right-handed.
Dude,
take a picture right now and show me. You do it on your hand right now. Fun story while Alex is taking this photo.
Terrible podcast content.
So sorry. Yeah, sorry. So these guys getting this right-hand man tattoo, which might be on their left hand, where it's still for speculation right now. Super killer. I love the fact that people are doing this because it's an original idea. It's one of the only original things I've ever come up with in my entire life. Was the right-hand man. So phenomenal they did that, dude. My brother-in-law. That's your right hand. That's obviously your right hand.
I'm wrong, right? I am wrong.
You're wrong.
I am wrong.
So people
Go ahead, shame them.
Okay. I was just told to shame you guys, and I'm gonna. All right, because you effed up, dude. You messed up. You can't go get tattooed a right-hand man on your left hand. It defeats the entire purpose of the tattoo. Now, it's still wicked awesome you guys did that. I'll send you guys a tattoo removal place so we can start over again eventually. But that's unbelievable. I don't know. Are those actually real?
They look real.
That's super funny. So there's only a few people that I know personally that have gotten that tattoo after. My brother Alex, who's not really my brother, but my brother Alex, he got it. And then my brother-in-law. So if you zoom in, we'll put a picture when the YouTube comes out. But I put a top hat on him. Like a few years later, I was like, I need to style this guy up. The top hat didn't stick at all. There's like a crease. And so it looks like two antennas. My brother-in-law, when my wife and I first got married, he calls me and he's like, I need you to send me a picture of your right-hand man right now. And I was like, okay, you got it. Took a selfie. So it's still my right hand. And I said it that because it looks like two antennas on mine, he got a right-hand man with two antennas, like alien antennas on his right-hand man, dude. And I was like, goes back to the Will thing. Just like if you have an idea, make it your own, right? Give him a skateboard. That's wicked, right? Get him a skateboard. I think my tattoo artist, Joey, Ira Singleton, if anybody's looking to get tattoos, I think he's moving down to Nashville soon. He let me tattoo a right-hand man on him one time. And that thing is wonky, dude. Like the hand, one hand's doing this, and the other hand's doing that. And one leg's shorter than the other. It's killer, though. It was killer. That's cool that those guys did that. But I feel terrible for them when they hear this podcast and they realize they totally messed up. So everyone else knows. Let me see their names. Christian, Fitch,
yep,
and Nathan Fourier. That's the guy's sister I kissed. You guys all got. Oh, I think he did it right. Nope, it's on his left hand too. Oh my God, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys doing? Like, it's called a right hand man. You can't put it on your left hand. But that's wicked, dude. If you guys get a right hand man, send it to us on Bussin with the Boys. It's a casual tattoo. People don't see it. People are worried about hand tattoos. You pop that thing on there, and if you're single, you go to the bar. It's a nice little icebreaker. It is a nice little icebreaker. It'll help you out if you're not good with ladies like I wasn't. So I needed a little pick me up, you know? Don't know how to talk to people. That's awesome. I love it. What else we got going on?
We got this one.
What is this? Read that. I can't read it too far.
This is from Danny Riera. It says, hey guys, just wanted to let you know, me and the boys have a drinking game where we take a shot every time Taylor says, I'll tell you what.
It's funny that you say that, and I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I hate that I say that. I actually, when I listened to the podcast and I heard, I was like, what kind of backwoods redneck do I say? I'll tell you what. And then I go into something that doesn't matter at all, the contents of that sentence at all. So shout out, Danny. You're hammered now. I'll tell you what, you're hammered. So have fun, boys. Subscribe at 5 stars. Tier 1 cats, dude. Tier 1 cats. Oh, Jesus.
This is so I'll read this one through. I'll just kind of skim it, but this is kind of heartfelt. I thought this was nice. This kid Raymond, his friend's mom Pearl passed away, and she apparently was a big Michigan fan.
Really?
And so he sent some pictures of you and her when you guys had met when you were playing there.
Oh, that's super cool.
She thought you were the quarterback.
I love to sit here and be like, yeah, I remember her. But that's outside the stadium, Michigan Stadium, rocking that Adidas. What a beautiful old soul. That's awesome. God, I was hideous. But good for her. That's awesome. Pearl, a sweet, sweet queen. I do love that, dude. That's super killer.
Want to do some pod reviews?
Let's do some pod reviews. Thanks, boys. I've been a loser my entire life. No friends, never been laid, no money. But after listening to every possible Bussin' with the Boys, I'm legit the man. Girls want me. Dudes want to be me. And I'm rich. This podcast changed my life. 5 stars from Mark Jordan 1 on September 11th. Never forget. Dude, unbelievable. Good for you, dude. I'm so stoked that we've changed your life. Obviously, we're joking because we give you nothing of substance to actually ever change somebody's life. So that's good. If all you need to do was smile, I hope we gave it to you. Life's a little different now. Time to be a little honest here, boys. Your boy was a solid tier 3. That's sad to hear. And thought life was good. Since then, I've put in a little more effort, not a lot, and have soared into being a tier 1. I'm not sure how that sentence correlates. Life is just different now, boys. I've been getting better sleep. The suits are finally noticing my hard work at the job, and my wife even finds me sexier. I owe it all to the boys. I owe it all to the boys on the boys. That last sentence is a no pauser. So you're a tier 3. You put in very little. Who sits like this, right? Who sits like this? You're a tier 3. You put in very little effort. Now you're tier 1. I'm not buying it. You're still a 5-star review, but you're tier 2 for sure. I'm glad your wife finds you sexier. I'm not sure what you're doing. Once again, we don't give a lot of substance here. So there's zero reason for Roy G 33 for this to happen to him. I guess he just needed a little boost, a little morale booster. I can't even read the title. R.I.P. Lunchbox. I think about Taylor's fish lunchbox at least once a week. Every day. Every day I think about that fish. The warmth, the happiness he brought me. My wife and I almost got divorced over that fish. She knew I loved it more than her. She knew. Man, you really killed the vibe with that one, Al. Like you just popped that one on me and
sorry.
I just took a turn to negative town. You know what I have to say to that? Okay. Okay. Life. For the boys, Will and Taylor are the greatest duo in podcasts since Wheel Forever.
I think it's supposed to be since well forever.
Since, comma, well forever.
Yeah. You
should have put a comma in there. Mm-hmm. Will's beautiful voice is the only thing that can help me fall asleep at night, and Taylor's love. What was that? For the boys and constant roasts of nearly every guest, intern, and Will is comedic gold. Thank you very much for saying that. Thanks to these 2 titans of industry, I now have a will to live. Once again, if you are on the fence of, is life worth it, right? If that is the phrase, I don't want that responsibility, dude. J-Man42, is that an S?
Yep.
42s, J-Man42s. I'm so happy that you are happy with what the production we're giving you. Listen, you're worth it. All right, don't jump. Right? You're worth it. I'm happy life is now worth living, and for you, I will keep this podcast going, and I will make fun of Will harder than ever when the 2 of us are back in the building. Thank you for being you. The boys come first. Had to cancel with my girl because the new pod came out. Sorry, but the boys come first. Told her I'd make it up to her with big hugs and tiny kisses with a cry laughy face. K Rich, the one and only. Let me tell you something, K Rich, the one and only. There's probably about a dozen more people like you. So if you go back, if you have your thing saying K Rich, the one and only, how many people do you think also have the one and only in their Twitter handle, right? Not everybody can just be original. Maybe you're not. I'm stoked you canceled on your girl. Maybe not. I don't. Maybe she's the girl, the one that's going to get away, and this is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Who knows? But if you are the one and only, she ain't going nowhere. So that went a whole lot of nowhere. All right. So like obviously, the city of Nashville has been through a lot in the year 2020. Obviously, in February and March there were the tornadoes, and then COVID. Not only just struck Nashville, but it struck the whole entire country, the whole entire world. But it also it was definitely personally hit here. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their lives, and it was very unfortunate. And then to wake up on Christmas morning the way we did, and to see that 2nd Avenue, there was a bomb that went off. Our one of our production guys, Bloss, is a police officer, and there's just no place for that in this world. I can go on a rant about, get better person, be this and that. Like, fuck that dude. And I don't know what happened to him. Did he die in the bombing? There was like one person that died, right?
Yeah, he was inside.
And he was the thing.
Yeah.
Hey, good. You know what I'm saying? You never want to wish somebody to go away, but people that want to be destructive and destroy beautiful things like the city of Nashville or anything, or try to take someone's life that they don't even know, right? And that's one thing that is super frustrating. You see in 2020 all these videos of cops and stuff, and it's a hairy situation to go into because there are bad cops, there are bad people, there are people that break the law, there's people, all that stuff, but not all cops are bad, right? Not all, you can't just generalize one group of people. And a perfect example is our guy Bloss. He's a top-notch individual. He's an awesome person. He's great to be around. He's always a smile on his face. He's a 49ers fan, but we don't hold it against him that much. But he's a great person, and he's a cop. And he could have been one of those guys that were put in danger that day. He was out of town, but it's just, you just shouldn't. It's hard to even talk about, because how deep do you really go into these things? I'm not going to sit here and change somebody's mind that's going to go and do this, but supporting the city of Nashville is one thing that anyone who's from Nashville or has been to Nashville for some reason gravitates and goes to do, because there's something special about the city. You walk down Broadway, yeah, there's a lot of bars, a lot of live music when COVID's not around, but there's a continuity, there's a mesh that when people move to Nashville, it's such a melting pot. No one is from Nashville. We got 2 guys sitting here from Nashville, but it took me 6 months of living in Nashville to find someone that was from Nashville. That's how many people come from all across the United States to live in a place like this. A lot of people, thank goodness, a lot of people didn't, perish from the situation, but a lot of property was destroyed. A lot of people's businesses. I think there was a tattooing company that lost their business through it. That was completely destroyed. It's a cool opportunity to give back. It's been a tough year for a lot of people. I know Will and I are going to donate. We're on Twitter with the boys right now. Will's donating $1,000. I'm donating $1,000. Will tagged 3 people. I'll tag 3 people later, but Will's tagged 3 people, and now Daquan Jones has tagged a few people. Jeffrey Simmons has tagged a few people. So the money's being rose, and so we just appreciate every dollar you guys can help to soften the blow of this thing that happened on Christmas, because Christmas, regardless of what you celebrate, right? It's a time. The end of the year is coming, especially this year. We're all stoked about it. And it's a good time to give back whatever you can, right? Just thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of this podcast, being a part of, what we're trying to grow, because it's special, man. What we're doing here is special, but it's not special at all if it wasn't for you tier 1, tier 2s, and tier 3. So thank you so much.
She's getting dick down in Dallas, real out and Raleigh, tag teamed up in Tennessee, ain't on in Austin, but fucking Boston, giving dick down in New Orleans.
Trey Lewis?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can absolutely hear you. Are you putting that accent on a little thick, or is that actually you?
That's me, man.
He's got a spitter and everything. God.
10%.
Good for you, dude. Are we ready to go? We rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Dude,
I put a dip in before I started. I thought about waiting
No.
so it would make me look cooler.
Yeah, no,
Like,
no. Put one in
putting it
while we're
on
talking.
camera.
Yeah, no, that's killer. I used to choose. It's not important what I used to do. Let me intro you in, because we're so official on this podcast, and then we'll keep it going. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as always, we have a guest, but because of COVID, we are now doing them from Zoom. Our guest today we'll talk about when you're on there, the #1 song on all country music, the lovely song "Dick Down in Dallas." It's for children of all ages. You will fully enjoy it once you listen to it. Make sure your kids are in the car, and take the sensory off. Trey Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Round of applause, Trey Lewis. Birmingham, Alabama. So definitely checking that box off on the country music schedule. You when did you start doing music? When did you decide that this is what I'm gonna do with my life?
So in 2007, I started drinking and using drugs at a very young age.
Okay.
Like 12 to be exact.
All right.
And then when I was 19, I decided to go get some help, and I went to treatment and I was there for 2 weeks, and then I went to sober living for 6 months, and I got a job working at a smoothie shop. And then as part of like my sobriety, I was like, I need like something to do, like to keep my idle hands busy. And I decided that buying a guitar was a good thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
And I bought a guitar. My grandfather paid for half of it, and I paid for the other half. And bought a guitar and taught myself how to play it. And like I didn't really have like many things that like made me happy, especially after just cramming drugs and alcohol into my body for so long. I was like, damn. But when I strummed that first chord, I was like, man, this feels good. Like this is what I want to do.
So you
that's how
found something in music, huh?
Yeah, I found something in music.
That's
I was like, this is
unbelievable.
what I want to do. Yeah.
So when you decide this is what I want to do, how long was that process before you're like, now if you kept up with sobriety, you're still sober?
I'm still sober, 13 and a half years.
I'm very happy for you, friend. That's awesome. This is a good start to our relationship. We're just being open.
Yeah.
So when you started making this music, when you strummed that first chord, what was like, you said, I want to do this. How long did it take you to say, okay, I'm going to pack up the bags here, going from Birmingham, let's go a little farther north and get to Nashville, Tennessee?
So my story is kind of funny. So basically what happened for me is I started like playing songs in my bedroom or whatever, like teaching myself songs. And then part of my recovery process, most people know about this, and the 12-step fellowships, is you sponsor people, like you help people through the steps. So I started doing that, and I had my very first sponsee, so to say, was a kid kind of same story as me. And but he played guitar and he was sick. He was like in a rock and roll band, and he had been up in Nashville like recording music. And one day he was like, man, we're working on the record, will you come up to Nashville with me? That way I can have kind of like a sober companion or whatever. And we came up here to that's where I live now, Nashville. And I came up here, and like they had the studio on Music Row. We were just hanging out, and his producer was a guy named Wes Shaw. He was also the drummer in the band. And he was like, man, I heard you sing a little bit, play me a little something. And I played this song that I wrote about me and my friends in high school, just raising hell and stuff. And I mean, the song was terrible. It was called Frankie Didn't Die Out in Montana. But like, he was like, man, I just love your voice, dude. He was like, and then that's how my relationship started with the whole Nashville thing. And he was, I would come up here and I would record, my shitty songs, and I would listen to them on repeat the whole way home. And then that was kind of like, man, I really want to do this. And my dad thought it was a really cool thing. And then little by little, I was, just making the trips back and forth. And then I went back to, I dropped out. I was a high school dropout, and I went back and got my GED and got a normal. I started working at the treatment center I was once a patient at. And in between all that, I was making trips to Nashville to record my terrible songs. And my buddy Wes asked me, he was like, man, if you'll just quit your job, come up here. And
We lost him. It's part of the bus, man. We work through adversity here. Sounds like Trey worked through a lot of adversity.
and did some cool shit. And then I moved back home. I took advice from some songwriter friends of mine, a guy named Aaron Lee. He was like, dude, you shouldn't move up here right now. You should move home and like build a fan base and like, get your chops up. And by doing that, I did exactly that. I played Mexican restaurants and pubs and things like that for years. And then I got married and decided that I wanted to start a band, and we started traveling and doing all that stuff. And then I went through a divorce when I was like 29. My dad passed away. There was a bunch of crazy stuff that happened. And then by this time, I was a full-time touring musician and all that stuff. And I was just like, it's either time to like pack it all up and face my fears, or just like, just be that guy that once played guitar, because I did some cool stuff like when I was like playing music, but like it was time to like do something different. So when I was 29 years old, I packed up all my stuff, which was not much, and I moved to Nashville. And I had like my first room was like a mattress on the floor, had like an underwear hamper that was like my side, my side table, and just came up here and just started roughing it out, man, going out and meeting people and doing all the stuff that songwriters do when they first moved to Nashville.
That's awesome, man. It sounds like you had a lot of trials.
That's the story in short. There's a lot of stuff, but
yeah, man, it sounds like you had an incredible story. I wish you someday you had to come on the bus and give us the whole thing, because it sounds like you've had a lot of trials and tribulations to get you to where you're at now. Does that drug abuse, alcohol abuse, your father passing away, your divorce, does those things find their way into your music? Does that, and then the whole divorce thing, Dick down in Dallas, you can't help but think, who hurt you? You know what I'm saying? That was my thought. I started hearing the song, I'm like, who hurt this man? I need to protect him at all costs.
Yeah. I mean, the divorce was definitely a painful thing to go through. And, there's been things in my life that have been super painful, but it's like, I'll never forget, like, there's been a lot of cool things that have happened, especially in the last 2 months. I mean, and, since the song release and before the song release, but nothing was more rewarding than the night that the song came out. And I was in this house with all my friends that, the writers of the song, and like my friends that have just, toughed it out with me and starved it out with me the last few years. And watching that song come out and watching it go to #1 was just like, I was just like, well, damn, I guess God did have a plan all along.
Yeah,
like
man.
it, and it made everything that I've been through, all the years of sobriety, and just like, I feel like as a songwriter, or just even as a person, like, you have to constantly like reevaluate who you are as a person, and like constantly redefine yourself, or like that. And if you don't, you just like get to a certain level, and that's kind of just where you stay for the rest of your life. I don't know, for me.
No, 100%. I think in the last, go ahead. Sorry.
And just constantly, and especially in the music world or entertainment industry, you're always being told that, that's not good enough, or that ain't it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, do you let that stuff like tear you down, or do you just redefine who you are and get better? And, I look at it as I sucked for so long that I finally got decent at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Like, and that's just how it is. You just got to suck at stuff until you get better at it.
I think that's something that people miss the most of, right? Like success, everyone sees. When you're successful, everyone sees Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the dude, you know what I'm saying? Or Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And so people don't realize how much work you've had to put into all these things. One thing that's different, really different about you that I've noticed, you being living in Nashville for the last 7 years, you have a lot of opportunity to meet celebrities and country, especially country music people that have been in the business for so long. You do feel a lot of walls up with people. And with you feel like, I mean, you got on here, and to open up the way you did to somebody you don't even know, it says a lot about you and your character, and how, you being that open book, you can help so many people with what you're doing. And I hope you have so much more success. Like this song is unbelievable, but I'm sure you got a lot more in you, man. All that stuff you've gone through definitely will find its way on some tracks, I'm sure. But what do you think is next for you? What's after this whole 2020 clears up, and it's not like January 31st, right? Things are just going to be up. We're back. Let's go back to regular life. What do you see your future looking at?
Well, we've been doing some touring already, just like smaller stuff in the South. And that's been cool. We're playing a show in my hometown at this place called Zydeco. It's a smaller venue. But like I was talking to my manager the other day. We've already sold some tickets. I remember when I couldn't sell 50 tickets at that place.
That's
so
awesome.
It's like really cool. So I mean, I signed with a booking agency here in town, and we're just trying to book some stuff that's of course safe, but not But I mean, I've been a touring musician for the last, 10 years, so like being on the road is definitely my goal. And just to continue to play shows. What I'm most excited about it is going out and playing 90-minute shows instead of 4 hours straight of other people's songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool, because that's what I did for so long. Was I got paid to play other people's songs, and now I'm getting paid to play my songs. And twice as much for, half the amount of time. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm probably going to put out a new song in February. And then after that, maybe an album or maybe like 3 like concept EPs, like, 3 to 5 songs for each EP, like call one sad country songs and then like one like about breakups and shit. And then, and then of course do a music video for every song I put out and everything like that to give the visual.
That's a music video. As a person with zero musical talent, it's when you see a music video, it just makes the song that much more like you feel what that person is feeling. I'm excited to watch it. What can you give out the name of the song you're releasing in February?
It's called Backup Man.
It's called Backup Man?
Backup Man. Like, have you ever been somebody's side piece?
100%, about 50 times in my life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta get it how you live, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're back. It's gonna be a killer song. Do you envision it having as much success as Dick Down in Dallas?
I mean, I've kind of, I've done a few interviews since this whole thing happened, and like, I realized that like some people are only gonna like me on Dick Down in Dallas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but like that was never like, I never thought that Dick Down in Dallas would do what it's done. Like today I saw on the top 50 viral, like the global viral of Spotify. The song's number 1 right now.
Really?
Which is insane to
dude,
me.
we popped your shit on this podcast. It was like a topic, like, hey, this is the number 1 song in music right now. And obviously I never heard of it. And it's like, it's hilarious. But it's a well done, hilarious song. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing and everyone's been cheated on or something. And, you usually envision that person with, 50 people at once and all these different, it's your imagination goes crazy. And so I think there's a lot of ways that, especially guys that have gotten torched a couple times, can sit there and go, damn.
I think it's important that, we talk about the song a little bit. It's like I moved to Nashville 2 years ago and I've been, writing songs every day, 2 and 3, sometimes even 3 a day. And, I have my group that I write with and my friends that I hang out with. And, we don't ride around and listen to the radio or listen to songs. Like we just listen to like the songs that we've written, or like, we send back voice memos of songs we, written or our friends have written. And Matt McKinney, he's like my best friend. And he sent me this song that he wrote called Dick Down in Dallas. And all it was a verse and a chorus. And then I didn't think anything of it. And then Brent Gafford and Drew Trosclair, they're also friends of mine. They were the other writers on the song. And then they finished it. And then I heard it. And one day we went to Chili's. We eat Chili's and Outback a lot. Those are
hey, Outback is an underrated spot. Yeah. I can't get on board with Chili's with you, but I got Outback all day. That bloomin' onion smacks.
So we were coming back from Chili's. And my roommate was like, man, if this song was on iTunes, I would buy it right now. And I remember just telling Matt, I was like, look, dude, like, I know y'all aren't ever going to like cut this song. Like I would do it if you were cool with it. And he was like, hell yeah, dude, there's nobody like, he was like, I could totally see you doing this song. Because I've always like how me and Matt met was I was playing at this bar in Auburn. It's called Sky Bar. And like, he had played like right up the street and he was walking down and I was in there singing Big Green Tractor by Jason Aldean. Yeah. And I was in there changing the lyrics, take you for a ride on my big tallywhacker. And that's how we met. And then when I moved to Nashville, I was at Revival one night and he came up to me and it's like, dude, we met at Sky Bar. You were in there changing the lyrics. So like, adding profanities to songs has always kind of like been my thing. So it wasn't, what I'm saying is it wasn't too out of the box for me to cut a song like that. Like I have other songs that say, fuck or like whatever. So
yeah, I think fuck is a word that I actually talked about on this podcast. I shouldn't say it as much as I use it too much, but I think a well-placed fuck, especially in a country song, gives a little more of a sharper edge that maybe country needs sometimes, Like lay down a casual little fuck every once in a while is kind of nice. Like if Tim McGraw came out with Dick Down in Dallas, I think he'd become a national treasure once again. People got to have the stones to talk about the dirty stuff sometimes. And I'm glad there's people like you to pull the curtain on the sensory of this world and make it a little more naughty.
Yeah. And I haven't really gotten a lot of hate. I got one hate email yesterday.
What the hate email say? What was it?
She just
what
said,
super Christian group was this?
She just said something like,
hey, we knew it was a she from the get-go.
Sorry,
go ahead.
You have blood on your hands with it. She was like, you have blood on your hands with this song and all this stuff. I mean, I didn't even read the rest of it. It's just TLDR, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever. But like, man, honestly, the songs brought a lot of joy to people. So like, you know, and like, I'm asking that she comes back and gives me that sweet ass. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not hating on her. I mean, for all I know, like, she could just be at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like,
no question.
Or it could be like, you know, Forrest Gump and Jenny. You know what I mean? She's a party girl. But
I think that's an underrated part of that movie is Jenny got around. I mean, she had HIV at the end of the movie, so spoiler alert. Yeah. But she got around, and you know what? Forrest Gump loved her just fine, and she probably did get dicked down in Dallas. You know?
Yeah.
Tag team to Tennessee. Yeah. The whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. All of it.
Yeah. Butt fucked in Boston. So I'll tell you what, dude. I love your stuff, but I like you as a person even better because there's a super genuine piece about you that we need on this bus. I love you to come and be a guest on this bus one time, and you're gonna come play Piggin' with the Boys, which is really cool. That's awesome. Yeah. I think it's gonna be awesome, man. You're gonna love the bus too. It's got a really cool redneck, creepy, free candy vibe. I think you're really gonna like it. So, but thank you so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we got your information. We will definitely be bugging the shit out of you real soon.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
See you, dude.